What's up, everybody? Happy 420. Thank you for tuning in to Fiesty Fridays with Passion. Bring you the most controversial truths under the sun, ranging from love, situationships, and honestly, everything in between. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button right now because we're about to get into some deep shiznai. This video is bringing you the top 5 reasons of why he may or may not be the one for you. And honestly, if he's any of these, he's most likely not the one for you. And that number one is the most infamous question you get asked as soon as that honeymoon phase is over. And it's, why are you moving funny? Or, why are you acting mixy? And honestly, it could be two forms of temptation that's gotten your man's focus. Mentally, someone has gotten his attention and has stimulated his mind on a level where you can't seem to grasp yet. Or, it can be a sexual-based curiosity in someone who is trying to get his attention, or even worse, someone who already has his attention. Or, to be completely non-biased, he could be potentially trying to court her because those two things are lacking from the relationship. And pay attention to the signs too. Your man could be trapped down a two-way street. One, y'all connection could still run deep and he feels guilty because the communication barrier that y'all possess holds more strength in presumptive conclusions rather than the growth of conquering the differences between y'all as a unit. Or, even worse, she has probably gained more momentum over his feelings because of the obstacles that were preset between y'all. That's an even worse position to get out of. Reason number 2 being the lack of synergy when it comes to mutual vibration. Essentially meaning us not being on the same page or being on completely different types of timing. At first, emotions are flourishing, physically, mentally, spiritually, and then out of nowhere, shit goes left. Communication, emotions, level of understanding begins to diminish and become haywire over time. This is a huge sign of miscommunication and lack of empathy in the sense of what your partner wants and what your partner needs. It can be highly possible that you guys have completely different sets of standards and expectations, which is solely based on your past experiences, preconditioning your standards to unfairly judge and uphold your partner to the preconditioning that you've been exposed to, which is completely unfair because everybody lives their own life. Whether it's positively or negatively, you have to go into your new relationship completely whole. What I mean by that is being 100% with oneself, carrying no extra baggage or burden into the new experience. In order to ask for something, you got to be willing to give that in return. Otherwise, it's two broken pieces of artwork trying to come together to make a mosaic of bullshit. Reason number 3 being fabricated expectations. Entering or diving into a new relationship with what I call first impression standards. Essentially, entering a new encounter with a preset list of standards, or what I call a checklist, that you were preconditioned to uphold based on your past experiences that have molded your expectations in some way, shape, or form. Whether it be emotional, mental, physical, or spiritual trauma or wounds that haven't healed yet or you haven't confronted over time. Fabricated expectation is the conceptual misunderstanding of what defines a true or serious relationship. Ultimately, your vision of what it takes can be the complete opposite of what your partner's vision is or ulterior motives or intent is. Meaning, whether or not they're achieving your expectations for a self-interest goal. Reason number 4 being comfortability and convenience. The constant question of, why am I still here? Meaning after what couples call the honeymoon phase starts to fade, without noticing that time and days become harder and harder to differentiate between. And it's all because y'all created this routine of comfortability and convenience that doesn't require any high energy or chivalrous or adventurous notions at all. Meaning that this is a huge red flag of disaster. Why, you ask? And it's because feelings become stagnant in the sense of sexual and emotional drive, which leads to a significant and noticeable decrease in intimacy on all platforms, whether it be physically, mentally, spiritually, or emotionally. Attention to small details become a huge issue, man. Small notions of affection begin to become unnoticed, leading to outsourcing of attention, and inevitably, the environment becomes severely toxic. Reason number 5, unnecessary lies. At this point in the relationship, the environment has become so toxic that basic conversation becomes shrouds of made-up scenarios and lies just to cover up the ulterior motives that are looked down upon on your partner. Essentially, outsourcing attention and affection somewhere else. The subtle truths and lies begin to become one and the same, you can't differentiate whether your partner is telling the truth or lying at any given time, then the loss of worth and sanity begins to set in. This is the phase where both of you realize that the level of toxicity is too hard and too far to bounce back from, and one of you are still stuck in optimism trying to rekindle that flame, and the other is too far gone to even care about it, leaving you stuck in a vicious cycle of that's unsatisfied, unfortunate, unforgettable, unimaginable, and extremely unnecessary situationship that should have been ended once you've seen one of these signs pop up. So again, why are you still here? Tune into the next Feisty Fridays with Passion to find out what's the 5 key signs that you found someone actually worth your time. If you want me to elaborate or discuss anything further, comment below. If you're new to the channel and you vibing with what I gotta say, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be updated on the latest and most controversial truths brought to the tube. Let's all grow with passion. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.
I try to play numb to shit like this, but I'm cool cause this isn't love.